Yes, 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 yes. So, hey guys, I said on my story on Instagram that I wanted to do this week, some getting back to the basics of money. What you need, not only to make money, but it's what's the blueprint, what's the path to do with the money that you make. That's what we're going to talk about. I've written a couple books. This book I give away completely free, the ebook. It's called You Don't Have to Die Broke. This is kind of my story. How I took a few $100 by adding to it, investing, allocating money, buying real estate, buying dividend stocks, starting a business, all of those things. It's kind of my story and the blueprint that I'm going to talk to you about here today. That's what this book teaches. I also have physicals. If you leave a comment, let me say, if you leave a comment and you're a follower of mine, you leave a comment, I'm going to give away a physical copy. If you already have one, feel free to leave a comment and then you can gift it away. Or if I pick you, I'll send it to a friend for you if you want. And then I wrote this book, and most of you probably know me for this. I teach a stock trading strategy called the money flow. And so that's my two books. You go from this one to that one, okay? The purpose of these two books, like I said, let me check my time here. I tend to go long-winded here. I'm recording these both on YouTube and Instagram. The purpose of this is just the blueprint. This is the Millionaire blueprint. And then this isn't the fast lane blueprint, okay? I'm not showing you some Grant Cardone shit where you're gonna buy apartment buildings. I'm not showing you outlier stuff. I'm just showing you stuff for average people, okay? How do you become a blue-collar millionaire? Which is what I am, okay? Blue collar. Most of you see me most of the time, I'm covered in paint. Today, I'm not, okay? So you're out there busting your ass, you're making money. You need to follow a blueprint. And this blueprint, if you follow it, in 7 to 10 years, will lay the foundation for you to become a millionaire. I promise you. I don't care if you work at McDonald's, drive for UPS, you're a nurse, a doctor, whatever it is you do, this is the blueprint that's going to get you there. Now the problem is in the middle, we're getting punched in the face by life, right? So the book opens with this idea in chapter 1, tells you the story of a well. The well is your job. This is how you make your money, man. This is how the bread and butter, right? This is how you pay your bills. Jim Rohn said a job is honorable and wages are fine, but profits are what make you rich. So we've got to move you from a job to earning income to where your money starts to generate profits. And that's the ultimate goal. And that's what this map is here. So the well, it's an old school well, the kind of well where you lower a bucket, you pull up the bucket and you have some water. We have to take this water, which is an illustration for income, and we have to distribute it to these other 3 buckets. Now here's the problem. This bucket here, this is necessities. This is the shit of life. Food, food, shelter, right? Cars, all that stuff, insurance, all the things that you need in life, right? And we all need is. You're all going to have a utility bill. We're all going to have car expenses. We're all going to have cell phone expenses, and internet costs, and basic shelter costs. We all have these. So this bucket is known to have a hole in it, and that's all the shit that you have to pay for that, well, you just have to pay for. Now some of us make the hole much bigger than it needs to be. And what I mean by that is then we add in a bunch of debt. So we buy things we can't actually afford. The problem when you do that is you're literally signing away your fucking future. You're saying when you take on that debt, when you take on that car payment, when you take on all these debts, you're signing away future money. It's the future value of money. Because if you take a car payment, let's say I think the average car payment is like $550, and you invest that into a simple fund like the S&P, which we'll talk about over here, it becomes millions of dollars in 20 or 30 years. Now, science tells us that a lot of us have a gene in us that doesn't allow you to see yourself as an older person. One of my secret powers, one of my advantages in life is I'm able to see myself as an old person. Like I talk to the old version of me. Some people can't do that. I've been able to do that since I was a kid. Like I knew what I would be doing when I was 20 and when I was 30. And part of this, I think, is because I'm a super big believer in the law of attraction, that I can manifest things. And in order to manifest things, you have to be able to see the future, or the future that you would like. If you can't, you're going to have a hard time with this. So you're going to YOLO it, right? Take on a bunch of debt, student debt, all this debt. People don't have, they don't understand the consequences of the future value of that debt. Then we have savings bucket. This is super crucial, and most people get it out of line. See, most people have a job in some form of investing. This bucket here is all fucked up, and they have very little in this bucket because they went straight from this bucket to this bucket. I get these DMs every day. Hey, Gerald, I got $100,000 in student loans. I want to start investing. Okay, you can do that, but you've destroyed the blueprint. It goes against everything that I teach in this book. It goes against it all. The reason that you want to do that is because that makes you feel good. This seems easy. This makes you feel good. Tackling this necessities bucket and destroying this debt is super hard, and doing the hard is hard, okay? If you can just start pushing money into investments, you kind of are ignoring the fact that you're actually in debt. Let me let you in a little counting trick. If you owe $1 and you have $1, you have $0. If you owe $1 and you have $1, you have $0. Okay, your net worth is zero in that case. So you'd be better off just paying off the dollar with this dollar, and then when you earn 10 cents, you would have a positive net worth. Okay, so that's the theory behind that. The savings bucket is what protects the investing. And we're going to go through this. We could go into great detail in each part of this, and I'll do this throughout the week in our Back to the Basics series. So back to the basics. So you have a job. You have necessities, you need a savings, and ultimately we're going to get to having an investing. But before you get to investing, you need to get, and this is the order in which it goes, just like this. You need to get the savings bucket adequately prepared, and that's common. You need 3 to 6 months of money set aside based on what it is you do for a living. If you have a very secure job, then maybe you only need 3 months. If you have a very unsecure job, maybe you need 6 months. And I would begin to do that long before I would do investing. Listen, think of things in times of seasons. There's a season for building your savings. And once you do it, you're good. You don't need to do it anymore. And so you begin to focus on one thing and attack that one thing. So you start with this bucket, making sure you're living below your means, right? In business, we call that profit margin. You make this, your costs are this, the difference is the profit margin. It's the profit margin. Remember I said in the beginning, profits are what get you rich? It's the profit margins from your necessities bucket that'll allow you to fund this bucket and this bucket. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, you're fucked. That's it. I don't know what else to tell you. It's up to you to break that cycle. And you can only do that by cutting expenses or increasing income. And so it starts with focusing on these two buckets. We have to create a second well. Right? You have to create a second well. Now, once you have this under control and you have this done, this is where it gets super exciting, because you're going to go like this, right? And then money's going to go to investing. This second well goes straight into investing. This is what gets you rich. The second income stream is the secret to getting rich fast, because you don't need that money. The moment you don't need this money in your necessities, and you don't need this money in your savings, you're able to take large sums of money and begin investing. That's the secret to quickly getting rich. I'm just checking my time. What happens is most people just stay right here in this job area. They keep this here all fucked up because they don't have any personal discipline. So they have all kinds of debt, or life hits them and they take the quick way, the easy way, because they never built the savings. So the reason you build the savings is to protect the investing, so that when the stock market crashes, you don't have to be like these idiots that sold their stocks because of coronavirus. You don't have to do that. Now, if you have this book, you can begin to learn some trade strategies, and you could short the market, you could buy puts, you could go long bonds, you could buy inverse ETFs. Like, you could actually get skills that you would learn to help you over here, or at least how to buy and pick stocks, business development companies, Over here we could have REITs, right? We can invest in business development companies. They loan money, right? We can invest in just stocks, common stocks. We can invest in bonds, all these things. The universe, but you can't do all of this if you're over here on this bucket. If your life is stuck just trying to get through the day, you can't get to the savings to get to the investing. And so what happens is a lot of people have kind of a shitty job. They're not making much money, and they start thinking they can maybe get out of it through investing. I don't think so. You're not going to invest, especially not in the stock market. You just don't earn enough. It's not possible. Over here in this bucket, we could include real estate. So the worst thing for you to do is to start buying real estate, physical real estate, when you're covered in debt, you don't have control of your necessities, and you haven't created any sort of profit margin. The difference between what you live on and what you make. See, it's that margin that'll allow you to buy the house, right? But you don't want to begin doing that until this is under control, this is under control, and this is properly set up. And so there's really only 3 things that can get you rich in America, and there's only 4 things you should invest in. You should invest in yourself, knowledge, books, education, courses, within reason, not these crazy ass courses I see, but the basics. I mean, you should have hundreds of courses before you start, hundreds of books and courses before you start doing private mentoring and all that bullshit, okay? You should have already done the legwork. That's trying to be shortcut it. Buy the book, study, read, all the basics. You need to read all the basics, right? In each subject, in savings, on managing debt, on investing, like you should be a student. So first you invest in yourself, right? Second, you can invest in a business. Maybe a business is how you earn your money. Maybe that's your well. Maybe that business could be you start a side hustle, right? You start a side hustle. Or you don't want to start a business. That's not really your thing. That's cool too. You can invest in business. So you can invest in yourself. You can start a business. You can invest in business, i.e. the stock market or someone else's business. Or you can invest in real estate. Those are the 4 things. That's kind of what we're limited to. All of us are limited to those same things. And so we have to work within that parameter of those things. I hate when I get phone calls on here. So back to the basics. How much money are you making? What's your income? You need to know this. I sometimes ask people how much they make. They don't even know how much they make. How can you not know how much you make? Jesus, that's like step 1, the basics. You need to know how much money you have coming in. Now, I like savings in physical cash. I like to have a lot of my savings in physical cash. I know some of you are going to be like, yeah, but I could get it stolen. I don't know your lifestyle. I don't know where you live. I don't know how you can protect it. But that could be simply in a savings deposit box at a bank, a deposit box. Why would I want physical cash? You can be sued. Wives, ex-husbands, business partners, family. Like, people can sue you. And when they sue you, they can get access to these accounts. So this is why you want some of your savings in physical cash, maybe gold, things that people can't sue or take because they decided they want them, okay? So that's super important, but at first that can start off in a regular bank account, but at some point you're going to need actual cash. And then later in the week we'll get into this concept of investing. But if all you have is a job and an investment account, you're getting this all out of whack, right? So the secret is, and we're going to talk more about this, about creating the side hustles. At one time I had 15 side hustles that all pushed money into investments. And that was how I got to millionaire status pretty fast. So again, hey, leave a comment, and I'm gonna pick one person. I'm gonna ship out this book. If you already have it, it's only $20, but if you already have it, and you win the thing there, then I'll send it to a friend for you. So leave me a comment. That helps spread the word, and we'll go from there. God bless.